Pistons and Celtics called by the Kevins, Harlan and McHale, with Kristen Ledlow working the sidelines, and then the Grizz and the Suns with Brian Anderson, Brent Berry, Reggie Miller, and Jamie Maggio. Here in Atlanta, TNT NBA Tip-Off is presented by Auto Trader. Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. Celtics, Pistons. We're going to start with Detroit. I've got a stat, and our guys researched this, and this is pretty amazing to me. In their first 27 games, these guys were allowing just under 96 points a game, and over the last 20, 14 points worse. Shaq, how does that happen? How does a team go from allowing 96 to 110 in the span of 20 games?
Well, it's surprising. I'm going to use the word lack of focus, but I played for Stan Van Gundy. He's a guy that will definitely get you prepared for the game with stats, with films, with the things that he says. And, you know, this one is just, you know, I have to put this onus on the players. You know, they just have to step up and you know, do a little bit better. Because if you look at that roster, they're pretty talented. You know, we thought that they were going to do a whole lot better. Right now, they're just not responding. But you can't blame it on Stan Van Gundy because I played with him and Pat Riley, and they definitely have you prepared for every game.
Whose team is this in Detroit?
Well, it's.
I mean,
I'm not a guy.
Look at the Celtics. That's Isaiah Thomas's team.
Yeah, you know, I'm not a guy who kind of does that. Everyone has roles. Isaiah Thomas's role is to score. You know, if you say whose team is it to defend, Isaiah Thomas's name wouldn't come up. So everybody has their role, and everybody has different roles. And some guys are scoring, get the name of their team. But I just think when you look at Detroit as well, usually that comes down to lack of trust. Because just the same way you trust guys on offense, you trust them on defense. So, like, if I'm told my assignment is to send the guy baseline, and I said Shaq's going to be there to cut him off baseline, and he's not there, then the next time I go, well, I'm going to play him a little straight up. Then Shaq comes over, and now he beats me middle. So all of a sudden you have like a snowball or avalanche of guys not trusting each other. So to me, when you go up 14 points in that short span, to me it feels like that you don't trust each other, you don't trust what's going on, and there's some dissension because of that.
Why is this team 4 games worse than they were a year ago?
Well, I disagree with Kenny. Every team has to have a guy.
And who's the guy on Detroit?
On offense?
No, every team has your best player. He's the guy. Everybody follow his lead, whether that's good or bad. To me, the best player on Detroit is Andre Drummond. He, to me, is a stud. He's in the conversation every year with All-Star. I think the biggest problem with the Pistons is they think they got a lot of guys who think they're better than they are. That's what I think their problem is. You know, they got guys who got money, and people are like, whoa, I make money. I'm a star. I'm a good player. Instead of earning that respect. Like I tell you, the guy I love in the NBA this year is DeMar DeRozan. Gets that big money. He comes out like, I'm taking my game to the next level. Actually, and this ain't an old guy hating on young guys. When I look at the Eastern Conference, there's so many underachieving teams. I think what's happening in the NBA is now everybody's making so much money earning now. There's no need to want to be great anymore. Like, I think mediocre players are making $10, $15 million. You're like, why am I going to kill myself?
Where's the incentive?
What's the incentive to go take my game to the next level? I do think there's so much money in the NBA, it's had a negative effect on the bad players. The great players always want to be great. But I think some of the mediocre players in the NBA are making so much money now, there's no need to be great.